Greetings citizens, children, and to the deaf ears, and blind eyes of the federal, and provincial governments of our nation of Canada. We are anonymous. On behalf of Operation Expose CPS, we would like to invite you to listen to our radio podcast broadcasting the human voices behind each of our ongoing operations with the purpose of allowing children and their families to express their feelings about their experiences with various agencies including Child Protective Services or Family Law, and giving other children and families with similar experiences a glimmer of hope, knowing they are not alone. To learn more about this radio podcast, or to participate or contribute, we invite the families affected to contact us with their stories, experiences, or created artwork regarding their personal experiences with child protection workers and decisions made by family law. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
Time to rethink every fact that is imaginable. Survival instinct dwells in a past that is uninhabitable. I happen to pull fast ones over the slow parole board who likes to speak to defanged wolves who cry sheep. Time seeps into our skin, age indicates how long we've been lost in space. I keep putting expressionless looks on my face, an awful waste of human skin who waits for autumn to begin. My fall from grace will do me in too late. I'm out of season. No spring chicken, summer romance novel writer could win a prize. It's Nobel, go to hell in a riding vehicle that he winterized. I've changed my mind more often than my undergarments about abortion and other nonsense. I'm an orphan who comes from Providence. I am a sign from God for the parentally misguided. And I know my state is not an ocean, not an island, not a road. If I don't know where I come from, how do I know where to go? It's not where you're from, not where you're at, it's where you're going. And I am going home. And I know my state is not an ocean, not an island, not a road. If I don't know where I come from, how do I know where to go? It's not where you're from, not where you're at, it's where you're going. And I am going home to where? The land of the lost souls, feeling a loneliness that really only exists in abandoned foster homes. How many images of missing kids can be fit onto a milk carton? Framed, they're starting to look the same, starting to say his name and claim privileges as if they found him. The strangest little kids surrounding the circle of false friendship rings of firearms are connected at the elbow cause their tired moms unexpectedly let go. The Velcro-like component that keeps their unit cohesive, it's the music, so we give reasons to get sober. Life experiences to hum to. These kids play Red Rover, I look for weaknesses to run through. With reckless abandon, they're standing, refuse to go down. Pinballs in their machine bounce between abusive homes now. If it's fight or flight, they'll just choose to throw down. Ain't nothing like beating a dead horse, riding it through a ghost town. I move with no sound. Used to think I was invisible, till they stopped me mid-stride and said, I think I've seen a picture of you. Picture that. I said, nah, I just got one of them faces placed next to an expiration date that changes. I kinda look familiar. My name is on the tip of your tongue. The lost look on my face makes you play dumb. Say something colloquial. I need to get my bearings and a feel for where I'm at, but you ain't hearing that. They shout freeze. I'm a tourist trapped by townies who put bounties out on me in all surrounding counties. Before I bounce, I hear them shout, can someone help us out, please? We're all alone in the foster home, killing ourselves with the house keys. Not every broken home can come equipped with a fix-it man, and it's a smelly mess once the shit hits the fan. Kids just stand in their circle jerks with their dicks in the sand, saying fuck the world, cause they ain't got no girl, but who do they think I am? Think again, I'm not that quick to plan ahead of time. I'm 2 steps behind the schedule, they pretend to have read my mind. I think they just misread the lines in the palm of my hand, cause they're random scars caused from slapboxing with landlords. I ran with the dogs till I realized they were all mutts turned bitch once the dog catcher caught up. Forced into trucks, boarded up, put to sleep in the pound. Being an orphan sucks, but I'm through with sneaking around. I see my frown posted up on street lights and telephone poles. From what they show, it seems like I never grow old. From what they show, it seems like I never go home. And that doesn't seem right, cause they won't let me grow. And this is where some go to avoid the sun rays and the noise of subways. Emerging introverted, unemployed and unshaved, I feel rewarded offering a finder's fee that I know no one will pay. And this is where some go to avoid the sun rays and the noise of subways. Emerging introverted, unemployed and unshaved, I've got multiple personalities and my inner children are runaways. And I know my state is not an ocean, not an island, not a road. I don't know where I come from, how do I know where to go? It's not where you're from, not where you're at, it's where you're going. And I am going home. Boarded off from a finder's fee that I know no one will pay. I've got multiple personalities and my inner children are runaways. Boarded off from a finder's fee that I know no one will pay. I've got multiple personalities and my inner children are runaways. Boarded off from a finder's fee that I know no one will pay. I've got multiple personalities and my inner children are runaways.
All right, well, welcome to the show. Sorry that things have been so inconsistent. We're hoping to get it a lot more scheduled and have people posting on here a lot more. So we're doing a roll call. We're doing a roll call to try to find as many people that will speak up about their experiences in foster care, in group care, under the child welfare system. Yes, we're hoping for Alberta kids, but right now we're just going to focus on anybody around the world that wants to share their story, because eventually we're hoping to make this an international thing where kids can come online and say exactly how they're feeling. You know, if you don't know where you come from, you feel empty. I was reading an article about what happened in Nazi Germany when children were produced to be, you know, the perfect race. And they were really not allowed to know who the father was, sometimes even who the mother was. And just in line with that, we talk about children who've been adopted, and sometimes who've been adopted by very good families who love them, but still feel a fierce desire to know who their father, biological father and mother are, or were. We're very, very family-oriented, even if we don't really logically know it. We want to know who our family and our culture and our history. It's our identity. Even sometimes if it's something that we don't even want to hear. We just want to know where we came from. We want to know who we are. And sometimes, you know, there are families where the kid finds out that the father or the mother did not love them. But I guess the thing that we want you to know is that there's a lot of alienation going on. If you're being told by your social worker, foster parent, adoptee parent, or anybody else that they took you in because your parent didn't love you, we're asking you to clearly not accept everything that you're told. Not just about that, but about anything. Never just accept something because it's a professional or an expert or somebody you love or look up to. Always make sure that what you believe has become your own truth. That you've done your own research, deep research, so that you know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, or at least a higher percentage, that what you're told or not told is true or not true. So some people might have a huge advantage of telling you, you know what? Your parent doesn't love you, doesn't care about you, didn't want to change, didn't want to do A, B, or C. You weren't worth anything to them, and they just wanted to live their own life. We ask you to not just accept that, to do your own research, and maybe even find where your parent is. Holidays are coming up. We're going to be having a show in approximately 10 days where people can call in. They can call in and talk to the one that they love. Now, we really don't know whether that message will get to them, but this is the internet, and we never know who might find what on the internet. So if you're missing a child that's in the foster care system, and you're hoping by some chance that they may come across this radio page, and you decide that you want to leave them a holiday message, or a heartfelt message, or a poem, or dedicate a song, or just let them know, you know what? I fought like hell for you, and I love you, and if I could find you, you are always welcome. Or the kids are like, did you ever give a crap about me? Do you love me? Did what the social worker, foster parent, group home staff, did what they tell me, is it true? I want to hear it from you, not them. I want to hear the truth. I don't want to just accept what other people say, because we don't know what their own agenda is, even if we may think that they're good people and we may love them. Sometimes people do things that they think is in your best interest, but may not be, or may not be the truth. They may think they're protecting you, but in reality, it's really wrong to present a parent as having a viewpoint that isn't accurate or true. Right now, my own child, who I have been very close with for the majority of his life, and children's services, and his so-called, at one time I called mentor, is actively trying to alienate us. It started off just with not even wanting him to call me on Mother's Day. You know, it was very, very hurtful. I think that anybody that wants to keep somebody away from a family member, especially, you know, like there are people who have addictions, or who are, you know, maybe not doing or making the greatest choices. That doesn't mean that that person may not want to change, or that could change, or that would do whatever it takes if given the opportunity. Again, there's an agenda, there's profit through adoption. Significant, $20,000 or more to adopt a normal infant. We have children with special needs sometimes being handed out for free. Or for the foster and group homes, given great incentives and extra bonuses and extra money to take special needs kids, dope them up, and toss them from home to home. There's actually benefits in that too. The more variety of changing kids from home to home, believe it or not, there's more financial benefit. I found it also that you don't have to, even tell the tax guy that you're looking after foster kids. It's a write-off. So there's so many benefits to why people would take in kids. But in the end, yes, there are some people with good hearts. But those with good hearts would always want the child to be connected to the family member in the safest way possible. If it's a few hours a week, if that's just all that's able to happen, I mean, with myself, I was given very little hours, and that wasn't right, because I was willing and able to do whatever it took to be close to my child and to do whatever I needed in order to become the parent that my child needed. But I was being withheld hours and being withheld services that I had a right to have. You know, it says that the the caseworker needs to work diligently towards the reunification of the family until the PGO is granted. So the parent is to be given all opportunity. Programs like the High Fidelity Wrap program, which make everybody accountable, and which focus on people's good points and celebrations of things that they've done right, rather than putting somebody under a microscope and letting them know all the things and all the reasons why they're not good enough to be around their child. So we have the Christmas season, Hanukkah, Jewish season, you know what I mean, like celebrations. I shouldn't say seasons, I apologize. Celebrations, traditions, things that are of deep importance to families. Some people don't celebrate either of those things, but they just want to see their children regularly and show them their culture and traditions and tell them their histories and their stories of their lives and of the people that they came from. And children need that. They need a place of identity. And so that's what we want. We want parents and children and anybody else to call in the next 10 days. Share your poems, your music, your expressions of grief, your expressions of love, your memories, anything that you feel will reach your child or your parent's heart, to let them know that you value and love them, and that you want to know that they love you or care about you. And we want to hear your stories. We want to know what's going on. I know when I would go and visit my son in one particular group home, and there was rarely ever any parents or anybody that came and visited. Now I know they may have been prevented in coming. There would be a volunteer or two, and you could see the longing in the child's face and the starvation for attention. I would be there every second day, and I would talk and visit and hug the kids and let them know that I valued seeing them also when I saw my child. And they loved that. They loved to be recognized and felt like they were important to be acknowledged. And I can tell you that some group homes won't have people coming into the homes for the exact same reason that I got ostracized. You see, if you're going into a group home that isn't accountable, that is kind of mostly for profit, or are there just to make a buck. They don't make a lot of money, but sometimes people just stay stuck in a job that they don't love and they don't have a passion for because it pays the bills. And you can see that in the way that they are around children. And I saw that. And I let them know when they weren't doing things that they should have been doing, like, having the kids eat at a consistent time. And so I guess I'm just saying that these children who are in these group homes feel like the throwaway children, feel like they don't matter, and would love so much to know that their parent loves them. But the social worker, the caseworker, the team leader, or the office is too busy ostracizing and alienating the children. Like for example, year and a half I went 4 hours. 4 hours of seeing my child. Did I do anything wrong? No. My son had gone into kind of a manic state for 7 days. He'd actually even been coded as somebody that needed to go into the hospital and be taken care of, but they didn't. So anyway, it's a pretty short show today. I needed to connect with all of you guys and let you know that I am eagerly looking for the kids and the families and the people that want to share their stories from their hearts. People need to hear that. Children's services don't want, especially the negative stories that come out. We have many websites where people can go and hear all the glorious and wonderful things that happen when a child's adopted or, put into a wonderful foster home. But they definitely don't put the ones that many need to hear, because we're looking at statistics. We're looking at the high statistics of what happens negatively under the child welfare system, and children telling their stories and saying what they had done in hopes that somebody would hear their voice, because they're children, They don't get to vote. They don't get to really be taken seriously. And so I want their voice to be heard. I want them to be heard, and I want people in all of your houses or wherever you live to hear what it really is like to live under the government system from people who are paid to take care of you and almost most likely don't love you, and if the child runs away, would quickly replace them with another child rather than streaming the streets and looking for that child to come back home because they passionately love them and want to help them. Very rare. I lived in group homes, foster homes, lived in all that. I did not see that. So anyway, this is Sweet and On signing out, and we're hoping to get a lot more frequent, and we're hoping that you'll call in or send an email. We're going to try to cover Twitter and cover other social media. Hopefully, eventually, maybe PlayStation, satellite radio, so much that we will viral this everywhere, and eventually it will become so loud that nobody will be able to ignore your voice ever again. So, Sweet and On signing out, letting you know that you are loved and that you matter.
This concludes our radio podcast. We appreciate your time while allowing us to demonstrate our idea to put a human voice inside the tragic and dire circumstances facing children and their families due to issues inside Canada's various child protection departments and issues involving family law. Stay tuned for new episodes, and remember, if you are being treated unfairly by the system, you are not alone. United as one. Divided by zero. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. To all Canadian departments responsible for child protection and family law that have ever made a decision resulting in harm to a child, you can expect us.
We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.